Welcome back class to the next chapter of Polity Lakshmikant series. The chapter is Salient Features of the Constitution. In this chapter we will discuss about the features of Indian Constitution, and first we have some important amendments to the Indian Constitution. They are 7th, 42nd, which is also known as mini constitution, 44th, 73rd and 74th. So what is 7th Constitutional Amendment Act? This act, 7th Constitution Amendment Act 1956, abolished the existence classification of states into four categories. What is that? First we have four parts in which we have divided our states: the part A, part B, part C, part D. This Constitution Amendment Act abolished this provision, and this act also extended the jurisdiction of high courts to the union territories, and it also provided for the establishment of common high court for two or more states, and it also provided for the appointment of additional and acting judges of the high court. Second important constitutional amendment act was 42nd Amendment Act, which is also known as mini constitution. This act added three new words to the preamble, which are socialist, secular and integrity. This act also added fundamental duties by the citizens. Means in the original constitution we don't have the provision of fundamental duties. This act added the new part, which is part 4th A, to the constitution and the fundamental duties. This act also made the president bound by the advice of the cabinet, and this act made the constitutional amendments beyond judicial scrutiny. This act also added three new directive principles, which are equal justice and free legal aid, participation of workers in the management of industries, and protection of environment, forest and wildlife. And 44th Amendment Act, which came in 1978, it restored the original term of Lok Sabha and State Legislative Assembly, which is 5 years. Means in the 42nd Amendment Act, the term of these two assemblies extended from 5 years to 6 years, but 44th Constitutional Amendment Act restored the original term. It also restored the provisions with regard to quorum in parliament and state legislatures, etc. And 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment added added two new schedule to the constitution, which are 70 which are 73rd one added the status and protection to the Panchayati Raj institution, and it also added a new part, which is part 9, entitled as the Panchayat, and new schedule, which is 11th schedule. And 74th Amendment Act gave constitutional status and protection to urban local bodies, and added a new part, which is part 9th A, entitled as municipalities, and the new schedule, which is 12th schedule. So let's talk about the features of the Indian Constitution. First one is lengthiest written constitution. Indian Constitution is lengthiest written constitution. Originally we have a preamble and 470 articles and 12 schedules, and that's why it is known as lengthiest written constitution. And it was take 2 years, 11th month and 18 days to complete our constitution. Indian Constitution take drawn from the various sources, ideas and provisions from the various sources like judiciary and governor office and federal scheme from the Government of India Act 1935. It take a single citizenship and cabinet system, bicameralism, parliamentary government from the British Constitution. It takes fundamental rights, independent judiciary, impeachment of president, judicial review, and etc. from the U.S. Constitution, and so on. Indian Constitution is not neither rigid and nor flexible. Indian Constitution is a mix-up of rigidity and flexibility. Like it is not rigid like American Constitution, and it is rigid as American Constitution and flexible as British Constitution. Uh, for rigidity, it will take a special procedure for the amendment, and flexibility, it can be amended by ordinary laws. Fourth one is federal cum unitary. India has both the federal and unitary. In federation system, we have two government system, division of powers, written constitution, bicameralism, supremacy of constitution, etc. And in the unitary system, we have strong center, single citizenship, single constitution, integrated judiciary, all India services and emergency provisions, and etc. In Indian Constitution, we have parliamentary form of government, which is preferred from British parliamentary system of government. The features of the parliamentary form of government are the presence of nominal and real executives, rule of majority party, leadership of prime minister or chief minister, membership of ministers in the legislature, and dissolution of the lower house, that is Lok Sabha. We have synthesis of parliamentary sovereignty and judicial supremacy. Sovereignty of parliament is associated with British parliament, while judicial supremacy is associated with American system. The framers of the Indian Constitution have preferred a proper synthesis between British principle of parliamentary sovereignty and American principle of judiciary supremacy. Next one is Indian Constitution has integrated an independent judiciary. We know the Supreme Court stands at the top of the integrated judicial system in the country, followed by high courts in the states, and then subordinate courts and other lower courts. The Supreme Court is the highest court of appeal, guarantor of fundamental rights of citizens and guardian of the Constitution. Then Indian Constitution have fundamental rights. In the Constitution, the part third of Constitution guarantees 6 fundamental rights to all the citizens. The rights are right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, and sixth one is right to constitutional remedies. If a fundamental right of any Indian is violated, then aggrieved person can directly go to the Supreme Court, which can issue the writs of habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, and quo warranto for the restoration of his rights. Then we have directive principles of state policy mentioned in part 4th of the Constitution. DPSP mean to promote the ideal of social and economic democracy. However, unlike the fundamental rights, the directives are non-judicial in nature, non-justiciable in nature, that is, they are non-enforceable by courts for their violation. Then we have fundamental duties, which which is added to the constitution only after the recommendation of Swaran Singh committee. The and it is and the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act 2002 added one more fundamental duty, and they also non-justiciable nature, and we have 11 fundamental duties now in the Indian Constitution. We have a provision of secular state. The term secular me added to the Indian Constitution by 42nd Amendment Act 1976. The Indian Constitution embodies the positive concept of secularism, that is giving equal respect to all religions, or protected all religions equally. We have the provision and we have the concept of single citizenship in Indian Constitution. Means it enjoy same political and civil rights of citizenship all over the country. We don't have a dual citizenship like at another at the central level and the second one at the state level. No, we have the same political and civil rights of citizens all over the country, both at both level. We have a universal adult franchise, which means everyone has the voting right, which is reduced to 18 years from the 21 years in 1989 by 61st Constitutional Amendment Act 1988. We have independent bodies, like certain independent bodies are envisaged by a constitution as bulwarks of the democratic system of country of government of India. These independent bodies are Election Commission, Comptroller and Auditor General of India, Union Public Service Commission, State Public Service Commission, etc. We have the provision of emergency provisions like national emergency Article 352, state or president's rule Article 356 and 365, and financial emergency Article 360. During an emergency, the federal structure converts into the unitary one without a formal amendment of the constitution, and central government becomes all powerful. Then we have the three-tier government, which is we already discussed about it, 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, which added a new part 9th, and a new schedule part 11th, which is 73rd, to the panchayats, and part 9th A, and 12th schedule, which is 74th, to the municipalities. So we have the important sources of Indian Constitution. So from Government of India Act 1935, we take federal structure, center-state relations, administrative setup, means Office of Governor and Public Service Commission. From the Constitution of USA, we take fundamental rights, judicial review, preamble, impeachment of president, and removal of Supreme Court and High Court judges. We have Constitution of UK have parliamentary model, cabinet system, writ jurisdiction, and from the Ireland Constitution, directive principle of state policy, election president, and from the Constitution of Canada, residuary powers, member of parliament and member of legislative assemblies privileges. From the Constitution of USSR are fundamental duties. From Australia, concurrent list and joint sitting of parliament. From Germany, emergency provisions. From South Africa, procedure of constitutional amendment. So we have complete the chapter salient feature of the constitution. If you have any query regarding any government examination, you can contact us on our websites isy.com and exammap.com, and you can contact also us on WhatsApp number. So thank you, class.